Let me show you how to book it. Let me show you.
Welcome to Book It. I am not your commissioner, Hi-Fi Mike, but I am your, I guess, not so temporary host, Lil X Fudge, Book It Boy of the Year, and Hater of the Year. And my first comment is Kenny should sing for every pre-intro, including his Papa Roach impression from our Pathfinder session on Saturday.
No, he shouldn't.
Sunday.
He should never repeat that.
That wasn't even recorded, I don't think.
It wasn't, thankfully.
Damn, I was about to say, go back and watch that because that was fucking funny.
You can't.
Well, next week's pre-intro will feature Kenny singing Papa Roach. It's a promise. But I'm here with your two lovely GMs, Damone D. Money Allen
Cello.
and the bad guy Kenny.
I'm not used to having to do the buttons.
Yeah, I was wondering. I still saw John.
Don't worry, Damone, you're lovelier when your face is not on the screen.
Thanks.
Move your body, move your body, move. I had to hit that Candace Michelle.
I forget she exists. And to remember that storyline in WWE, was it?
Bruh, that was
it 08?
2007, I think.
Or 2007? I think it was 2007 where you turn into.
It might have been 8.
She turned you into a girl.
I think it might have been 8. Yeah, she had that
The wand.
Was it that wand and touched you with you turned to a girl. You still have your same voice.
The only segment I remember of her, really, is like when it was on some pay-per-view. She was just like backstage pouring water on herself, and the Hardy Boys were watching. And then Robinson just walks up and is like, "Damn!"
She always had a segment like that, like a weird segment like that. Last thing I remember seeing her, this was like during the 24/7 belt era.
Yeah,
and literally, I think Kelly had the belt, and she like beat her up. She was like, "Yeah, I'm so proud of you," and like beat her up and pinned her. And then she's like, "I'm champion," and she like does this like slow whine like this for it took forever.
Oh yeah, the like twist thing she used to do. The Bellas were doing that for a while too. I don't know why that was a thing.
I don't know.
Melina did it too.
Yeah, Candice Michelle does the best though.
I like Melina's I don't like that. I don't remember her doing that, but I like the little taunt she did when she came out.
The split.
She'd be like, do whatever that shit was. Yeah. I don't know why I fucked with that. She was like,
I shipped Jeff Hardy with every girl he ever tagged with in a mixed tag match against Johnny Nitro and Melina. So, because in the Jeff Hardy YouTube fan community, it was all AMVs and ships.
Were they dating? Like were their characters?
No, but they did together against Nitro and Melina. So did him and Maria Kanellis.
No. I mean, on the show was Johnny Nitro and
yes.
Oh yeah, on the show.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they were IRL too. It was basically like it wasn't so obvious when like Mercury was around, but then when Mercury was drafted away from them and Nitro became like the mid card guy, Melina was definitely with him for sure.
Okay. Because I couldn't remember. Like I just remember the entrance was fire.
Yeah.
But, I just remember that, and they were just being dicks all the time. I don't remember them like how they interacted with each other.
God, when they messed up the painting and Jeff Hardy said, "That's my painting, man." Just throws paint all over and they wrestle covered in fucking paint.
There's a lot of bullshit going on back then.
But what are we doing today, boss?
Well, last week we left a long ass match stipulation tier list unfinished. And this week we're gonna fucking finish it. Last week we saw highlights such as the singles match being in the top.
Don't forget about the Carson City Silver Dollar match.
That was wild.
That got its own tier of bad.
Barbed wire cage.
Electric pool match was another highlight.
I love that shit. There was like that cowboy street fight. What was that one again?
The bunkhouse stampede. Which is literally just a battle royal but you're in cowboy gear.
But in the South.
Yes.
Was that the one I said we need to create a whole new category for Giant Gonzalez? I can't remember.
That was Carson City.
That was Carson City.
Okay.
It's literally just climbing up and grabbing a silver dollar to hit the person with.
It's so stupid.
Couldn't even be a golden dollar.
That's so dumb.
I'm gonna share my screen. So we can get started.
If you want to see what we did last week, it will not be on the screen. You have to go back and you have to watch part 1 from last week. It is up on Spotify and all streaming platforms. It's good. Go watch it.
Correct the mundo.
It's damn.
It's great.
$5.
So we're gonna start off with an I Quit match. Oh, by the way, the categories are head of the table is the top, Apex Predator, mid, Punjabi Prison, trash. Trash was the bottom, but then because of the Carson City match, we ended up creating a Giant Gonzalez category for absolute trash.
I feel like this is racism towards the Hispanic Giant Gonzalez.
Nope. It's not about his racist because he sucked.
It's just because he was awful. I Quit match.
Oof. See, this is what I loved as a kid, but it does not hit the same now.
I think for me, I've always liked it. I think
I would put it in Apex Predator. Like it can be really, really good, or it can be really mid.
It's fun to see it come back, but it's still a worse version of Last Man Standing. So I'm gonna go Apex Predator too.
I'm going Apex Predator too. Like not for it being bad. I just think Apex Predator was like I think it's not perfect, but it's really, really good.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Inferno match.
Okay, this is one of those ones where it sounds good in theory, but when you watch it, it's like this shit sucks.
Yeah, these matches are never as good as they're supposed to be because it's just like the barbed wire match. You don't have access to the ropes. So
you're just punching and kicking, and that's never a good match. And just like you said, fuck that. I think
that's a general rule, like for a match type, is if you're taking away access to the ropes, this shit's gonna suck. It really makes us appreciate ropes here.
Yeah. Here's the thing too. I've never watched the Inferno match all the way through. I've only seen highlights, and the highlights aren't even good.
I remember one, and this is just because like the selling of the injuries afterwards was really good, and I'd call this the best Inferno match. MVP versus Kane.
That's the only one I remember.
Yeah, they're all like mediocre.
Just because like MVP sold so well, at the end of the match and after that, like it made it feel like, you know, impactful and real, and like whatever makeup they did for that looked really like gnarly too.
What led up to that? What led up to them being like, you know what, MVP versus Kane should happen in Inferno?
Kane, I think Kane was just whooping MVP's ass all the time.
Okay.
Like Kane was just like, I want to set you on fire.
Yeah, like MVP, like it was like one of those storylines where like it's a reverse slasher where the good guy is just trying to murder the bad guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that was one of the ones where like, because I remember it, but I don't remember it, and I remember that was back before we can like I guess see the pay-per-views anytime we wanted, shit like that. Like you had to pay for each one. Yeah, so I remember just seeing the pictures and seeing like
oh yeah. Back where us poors would just go to the results on WWE.com.
Yep.
or you had to wait till like the Raw rebound.
Yep. Oh yeah, I used to love them motherfuckers. But yeah, I'm gonna put this in Punjabi Prison just because like it can tell a story, but like the match is never gonna be very good.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I agree with Punjabi.
So I'll say, if AEW could put a couple luchadors in there and they could just do shit on the top ropes without needing the bottom one, we might be able to redeem this.
I don't see it. I don't even know who you would use.
Throw like Commander in there and let him just jump over the fucking fire and shit.
You got to use
like a bad idea.
You got to use Mox.
Moxley, just the heat makes him bleed. Like, God damn, it's hot in here. Wipes the sweat. Oh fuck, it's red.
Iron Man.
Oh,
I'm also going Apex Predator for that.
Yeah, I agree. I think the peak of it is really, really good, but then it can become very formulaic, and there are some not great ones.
I was gonna go ahead of the table just because the ceiling is so high. Like, but I can see your point because also like anything with a countdown, crowds can ruin.
Yeah.
And like Ziggler versus Rollins, main eventing for the IC title fell victim to this.
Did it?
Yeah,
I remember really liking that match.
I
thought
like
it
that
was really
match too,
good.
but like it's a lot better with the sound off because the crowd ruins that match.
Which match?
Ziggler versus Rollins in the 30-minute Iron Man for the IC belt. It main evented in Extreme Rules.
Oh, okay,
I
wasn't
remember
watching
it being a really good match too.
Yeah,
But I could see the crowd being dicks.
it's
about
also
it.
a top 5 Ziggler gear for me with them like types that said
See, you
them types
remember
that
the
said
matches by
evil on
gear
the
and
back.
shit. I don't remember that. I
He
don't remember
remembers
stuff
all
like
of Ziggler's gear specifically.
He
Yeah,
he
I
has some
don't
fire
remember
ass gear. Like like them tights was fire. They were like them like light blue. It said evil in big letters in the back for no reason. I love
See,
that
yeah.
shit.
See, I don't remember that kind of stuff.
But also MJF versus Danielson. It was one of the best matches I've seen in my lifetime. That's an Iron Man match as well.
Yeah, I think it has a really high peak, but there's also been some bad ones.
What's the worst one? The worst Iron Man match.
I'm trying to think of what the worst one is. My favorite is still Brock versus. I know you hate Brock, but Brock versus.
Well, this
Kurt
is back
Angle.
when Brock was worth a shit. So
Yeah,
like
Brock
first
versus-
Brock I can forgive.
Yeah, Brock versus Kurt Angle, like Brock cheating at first and just saying, fuck it, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you with this chair, I'll lose a fall, and then hitting like 2 F5s to go up 2-0. That match is really good. Like, and they have it on the fucking SmackDown.
Yeah,
so like
no,
that was
SmackDown,
crazy.
like that's probably like one of my only Brock 5s. Because that actually is a good ass fucking match.
So next one is going to be kendo stick match. I'm going mid.
Yeah,
I feel like matches with one weapon are stupid too, but
unless it's a table match,
that's like a sword fight. They're just fucking doing Star Wars, and
that's really how it is. It always turns into a sword fight every time, and always one person comes up like running with the top of their like,
and the guy and they get
hit in the stomach.
And the
stomach, it's just stupid. Yeah. But I think ladder matches and tables matches is the only one that work for
with
one
weapon.
With one weapon, yeah.
So that's because you can do things off and through them. You're not just hitting them with it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going Punjabi Prison. I was thinking about trash. I'm going to go Punjabi Prison.
I'm gonna go mid because I feel
I
like
agree with mid.
You could do something with it, like if you have guys that are creative enough, or if you put 2 good enough wrestlers in, you could just have a good match with some kendo stick spots. Like,
and you could do like a story with it, like Kane Dewey or like what was
the
it?
Sandman.
With like Sandman, yeah, you can do stuff with it, like if you tell a good story, but it feels very limited. I agree. I think the only matches that are only one weapon that I can think of that are good are tables matches and ladder matches.
That's all coming to mind for me too.
Isn't that the one match Big E and fucking what's his name had?
Apollo? No, that was a Nigerian drum match where they beat the fuck out of each other. That was multiple weapons, and I actually liked that match.
It was just Nigerian because Apollo Crews is Nigerian.
Yeah, it was stupid. Like
I remember that. I thought that's all it was though. I remember any of the weapons besides the
it was basically like a street fight, but with like Nigerian themed weapons.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually liked that match. Like I said, I think the gimmick was stupid though. But it's gone better than any Samoan rules in Book It Verse. So,
true. Kennel from Hell.
Oh, what was that? What was the Kennel from Hell again?
So it's Hell in the Cell, but on the outside of the
Oh, is this like the Al Snow and Big Boss Man match?
It's the Al Snow and Big Boss Man.
And the dogs weren't even scary.
Where there's dogs around the arena, like around the cage. Yeah. They're supposed to be like keep you inside and like attack you.
So imagine these dogs are just like Chico and George though. They're not intimidating at all. All they're doing is like shitting, like humping each other, barking.
Yeah, they were just like the dogs did not care. Like the dogs were not paying attention. The dogs weren't like growling or anything. They were just shitting everywhere.
Because you can't make that like look the way you want it to unless you got some Mike Vick ass handlers out there, which obviously they don't want to do. I'm shocking Vince did it, but like I'm shocked Vince didn't do that. But like
unless you're like shocking the dogs or like you have
to abuse a dog,
abuse dogs.
Like yeah.
So you're not gonna consistently be scary.
So it's the Hell in a Cell
with dogs
lumberjack
on the
match.
outside.
It was lumberjack match with dogs instead.
Yes.
And not even scary dogs. These
Yeah,
are
not even
fucking
scary.
normal
They were,
dogs.
supposed, they were supposed to be scared. They're like German shepherds, but that's it. Like they're not actually scary.
The whole time.
They're not actually like doing anything like terrifying.
I'm not gonna lie to
Because
you.
you can't keep the dog that you can't for like if you're gonna do a 20-minute match, you're not gonna keep the dog like focused for 20 minutes.
Unless you're fucking Mike Vick.
I'm going Giant Gonzalez. That's what I'm going with that one.
Yeah,
That's
this is
pretty.
the one that they
this is
did is
Giant
considered like one
Gonzalez.
of the worst matches of all time. That's Giant Gonzalez. That is awful.
Yeah, that sounds
it's
terrible.
Like, I feel like it's one of those matches that sounds good in theory, and then you like.
Well, that
if you do
storyline
this
was also fucking stupid too.
Yeah.
Like what
If you
built
did-
up to it was
maybe what they could have did, in my opinion, is they could have did maybe cinematic style, have nobody in the ring, like have nobody in the arena, have them go at it, and maybe you cut to this dogs out there like, "Arr, arr," but you never see them in the match. You just kind of see them every time they pan out there. You see them.
But this is 1999. They weren't thinking cinematic back then.
Oh no, I know. I'm saying that's no way. In my opinion, if I made it work,
that's the only way you could like make it work. Of like you at the end, you get thrown into a kennel, and like you see the dog, like you make it cinematic, and the dogs like attack the person. But like that's the only way you could really do it and make it not look terrible.
For those who don't remember, though, this storyline was literally because Big Boss Man was just being like the worst person ever back then. Like he was like the Christian Cage of this time. But his whole bit then was stealing Al Snow's dog Pepper and then apparently feeding it to him in Chinese food, which is so fucked up and racist and stupid. And they're just stupid as fuck. Like he's like, "Oh, I brought you Chinese food, Al Snow," and then he's like, "Where's Pepper?" And it's like, "You're eating him," or whatever.
That's literally Cartman. That's what Cartman did.
Yeah. That's the fucking story for this match.
They just took South Park and went copy and paste.
Remember when he drove off with Big Show's dad?
Yes. God, Big Boss Man in '99 was on some different shit.
King of the Mountain.
I'm gonna go Apex.
I'm gonna go Apex Predator.
I'm going head of the table. I love this match.
This match would be perfect if you didn't have to put the belt on the hook. If you had to take the belt off of it, it would be perfect. I don't like the fact that you have to put it on the hook.
I don't care. I love this match. I love the stupid penalty box. I
like the penalty box.
I like the spots off the penalty box. I even like hanging up the belt. I don't know why, but I like it.
So that Samoa Joe can hand it to
Yeah,
that was Ultimate X, remember?
Was it Ultimate X that you had him? I thought that was King of the Mountain.
No, King of the Mountain was when was it?
I know I did a King of the Mountain, but
yeah, I did a King of the Mountain too. That was when Batista redid the Nope spot on Christian Cage.
Oh, okay.
In that book verse. No, that was an Ultimate X. But anyways, King of the Mountain's the GOAT. I love that shit.
I'm going Apex Predator. I was in between Mid and Apex Predator, but I'm going to go Apex Predator.
I love TNA match types. Like with Mike, the way Mike is with WCW, that's how I am with TNA match types. I love that shit.
The
more convoluted, the better.
Well, this is a WCW one, a King of the Road match.
What the fuck is that?
You fight on the back of a truck.
Yeah.
I can see it pissed me off.
Is it like a semi truck or like a Ford F-150 truck?
Like a not a semi, but like
a pickup truck.
Like kind of like one of those long trucks, like that have like the long ass like things.
Yeah.
Like a long ass bed.
Is it moving?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going head of the table. I love it. That's like some like Def Jam type map shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna go trash. I'm not trying to put a lot of stuff in Giant Gonzalez because it's definitely up there for guys. Giant, I can't speak. Giant Gonzalez. It's definitely up there for that. I'm going trash.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance, like, so it's like one of the like they're in like a hay bale essentially. Like I don't know if you guys can see it, but they're in like a hay bale, and
I love that.
Yeah, I'm going trash. Like it's not good. Like it was a bad idea.
Y'all just don't understand our Southern culture.
I don't. It was definitely Dustin was in it, so I'm pretty sure it was a Dusty special because Dusty loved those kind of like hillbilly matches.
Hey,
Kiss my ass match.
Hey, all I'm gonna say before I go into my rating of this is Dolph Ziggler's right ass cheek got a bigger pop than your fave. So,
Wait,
I don't remember my favorite ever having his ass cheeks out. I'm sure he did.
No, I'm
he was in
saying
DX,
that Dolph
but-
Ziggler's ass got a bigger crowd reaction than your fave ever has.
Wait, because my second goat had his ass out too, and the crowd went crazy. You know, my second goat, Shawn Michaels, when they pulled his pants down in the ladder match, the females were screaming in that arena.
We might have to compare these pops because, like, when he pulled his ass out for Sheamus, that crowd went nutty.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Cheek to cheek.
I don't want to compare ass cheek. I don't want to be there.
Cheek versus cheek match.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there for that. You know, I'm just gonna take your word for it.
Shawn Michaels versus Dolph Ziggler in an assless chaps match.
Now I think about it, I've seen Shawn Michaels' ass more than I should have. Because remember they had the one with the sign, he jumped up and his ass up real quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then one
They
point
were
he went around
showing
naked.
like his ass all the time whenever he could.
Yeah, I'm like, I saw his
Whenever
ass.
he could get
quite a
away
few
with
times.
We got to see a Gunther chop to somebody's ass.
They ain't gonna be able to walk. They'll end up like Hank Hill flat.
This is a stupid ass match. I'm gonna go trash.
I'm gonna go trash. The only thing keeping it from
It's just a
Punjabi
singles
prison,
match, but with the stipulation that somebody's ass is getting kissed.
right? So the only thing keeping it
yeah.
from Giant Gonzalez is it's stupid, but this is a story device.
And it's a normal match. Like the
Right.
wrestling could still be decent. Like
Right.
it's just
But-
afterwards you're seeing somebody's booty cheeks.
I was gonna say, but you just know at the end you're gonna see somebody's ass. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going trash.
Okay.
To work at WWE at that time when he was doing that Kiss My Ass Club, I couldn't do it, bro.
Well,
Like, you're
one of these
tripping.
happened as recently as 2016. So
Ladder match.
head of the table.
I'm going
Yeah,
head of the
I'm
going
going to the table too.
Like
Even the
anything that involves it.
The very first ladder match was fire too. It was just like, yeah.
It's hard to have a bad ladder match. It's been done, but it's hard.
Yeah, you have to like actively try to like have a bad ladder match.
Usually,
Even
it's
if
bad
you're
if it's a lot
botching
of-
everything, if you get one good spot right, then it's gonna be remembered fondly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the only ones I remember being bad were the botches.
Yeah.
Yeah, where like all they did was botch. Like that's the only time you remember it being like bad.
I think there was a females Money in the Bank match that was like that. That
It was
really
like
bad.
the
A couple
one like
years
2
ago.
years ago.
Yeah, it was like a couple years
No,
ago.
it was literally the one last year because what's her face?
That was where Shotzi was asking.
Shotzi kept Shotzi kept
God.
fucking botching.
She sucks.
I don't understand why, because she, from what I saw of her on the, like in Evolve, she was fine.
No,
like,
Evolve
I
in
think
NXT, it's like the bigger stage or something.
Yeah, I think it might also be the style because she's more of like a hardcore wrestler.
Yeah.
And they're having her do like regular matches, which it doesn't fit her.
I just saw a thing where she cut her hair. I mean, in real life, I guess I think it's the sister.
Yeah, her sister has cancer, so she cut her hair. So
that's cool.
like in solidarity, and they made it into the storyline.
Yeah, but then they put that storyline where Bailey was cutting people's hair to be a dick, and then she was like, "You think you control me? You don't control me." Starts shaving her head. I was like, "This is stupid." like, I was like, this is dumb.
I'm okay with it. We'll see where it goes.
I didn't like it. Like, if she had just cut her hair, for the cancer thing, then it's like she'd be a good guy that way. We'll be behind her because it's like, okay, that's what's up. But
I wonder if the cancer thing wasn't supposed to sneak out, but it did.
I don't know.
Or maybe she leaked it after people didn't like the storyline initially.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Hey, I did that for the cancer, you assholes.
Yeah, because that's
that too. A last man standing.
Head of the table.
Oh, last man standing.
Yeah, head of the table.
Like those are hard to be bad too. The only time those are bad is if they go too slow or too long.
I'm going Apex Predator. I think I've seen a couple bad last man standing matches, if I remember correctly.
I'm going head of the table. I think most of them are great. Like John said, I think you either go really. It's got to be like the match itself has to be terrible, or like it
Botch
goes
fest.
too long. Like even
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one of the most fun last man standing match, and even John liked it. And he hates Brock.
Yeah.
Is Brock versus Roman? They finally figured it out when they flipped that goddamn ring.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
shit was crazy. I damn near screamed in my house when that shit happened.
That
that
was wild.
Brock was like, maybe I should try to be a decent wrestler for the first time in like 15 goddamn years. Wow, who'd have thunk it?
I'm a fan of Brock. I've been, especially young Brock. I've always been a fan of Brock.
No, I like young Brock, okay.
I just hated he used to do this thing with his shoulders. He'd be like,
The
I hated that shit. That's the only thing. Like, other than that, I was a fan of Brock. And his
there
theme
was a
song,
point where Brock
theme
was my
song's ass.
favorite wrestler, like in
Brock,
the world.
Brock
Like,
was up there for me. He was definitely up there for me.
it was
He's
Triple
never that
H
for
and
me, but
Brock.
I liked him quite a bit. Like I was like, he's cool.
Yeah, he was my. I used to always go crazy.
A
with him.
last ride match.
A last ride.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is that?
It's pretty much a where you got to throw the person instead of a ambulance. You have to throw them into a hearse.
That I'm gonna go Punjabi prison.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I'm gonna go trash because what made the ambulance match decent is who you could put in it, and if you could do a cool spot. Then you remember that for a last ride match, it has to have the Undertaker, and that kind of limits you on spots. So
Then he has to do a last ride.
No, I'm gonna call that trash actually, because what are you actually gonna get? Because ain't gonna be no Jeff Hardy Swanton bombs or nothing like that.
Yeah, I guess you could. You just swanton bomb off the what's it called?
And there's no
The
stretcher
hearse,
involved.
but
Yeah.
there's no stretcher. I'm good with trash. And I don't think there were any good ones.
I don't know how
I
many
just
there
remember
were.
him versus Heidenreich in one. Last rights match.
Oh, I love that stupid shit. Head of the table.
So it's a casket match, but you don't. It's not just putting them in the casket. You have to seal it shut, and then it has to rise over the ring, like get lifted up. It's TNA. They gotta convolute everything.
I was gonna say this made it worse. Damn it. I'm gonna go mid. Because I'll just be cracking up the whole time it's rising.
I'm gonna go Punjabi prison.
That's all different. So what's between that? Punjabi
You said you said
head of the table.
Actually, no. I'm going Punjabi prison. The more I think about it, the worse it gets. Punjabi prison. It might fuck around.
They really did have a habit of just taking a normal match type and just adding shit for no reason.
They just tweak it a little bit so you can say it's theirs. And it's like you didn't have to do that.
You could have just changed the name. Lethal Lockdown.
Oh, head of the
table.
Yeah, head of the table.
I'm gonna come out and say it. That's the best variant of war games. The weapons on the ring. I like it in one ring. It makes it more chaotic. And when it's a 6-sided ring, it's even better.
6-sided ring is goated. Even though AJ Styles talk about how much it hurts to use that.
Yeah, the ropes are tighter.
Yeah,
everything's tighter, so everything hurts more.
Yeah, I love that shit. That's fire. I love Lethal Lockdown so much. I wish that it could be in AEW. Everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. Fuck it. The Fed can have it too.
A Lion's Den match.
Fuck.
What is that?
What did they call it when was it Seth versus?
Oh, that's a fight pit, but it's a little bit different. The Lion's Den has it where it's at like the that area by the entrance ramp where it sinks below on the old stages.
Yeah,
it's in that area, and there's like a dumb circular cage, and you basically kind of have like an MMA-esque wrestling match in it. It was Steve Blackman and
I know what that is. I know.
Yeah.
You said Steve Blackman. I just remember.
And Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, I do remember that shit. I'm going Punjabi prison.
I'm going trash. That match was not good.
I feel like if it was different people, it can be better. Like Kurt
I'm gonna go Punjabi prison. I feel like depending on who was in it, you could have a decent one. but the ones that they did weren't good.
Well, the fight pit I'm cool with, right? Because
the fight pit was cool.
That's in an actual ring, but
Right.
like with it's just in that like entrance
Area.
area, nobody has a good view of it because it's already obstructed by a cage and it's far away from the fucking crowd. Nobody can see
True.
it. So you're just watching it on the TV, watching dudes pretend to do MMA. You're like, might as well be at Buffalo Wild Wings for that fucking match.
A lumberjack match.
I'm gonna go mid.
I'm going Punjabi Prison. I was never a fan of this match. It's so dumb. They throw them out there. They're like, here, he's hitting your back when they throw you back in. It's like, all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Punjabi Prison. It's very formulaic. Like every lumberjack match is the same.
It's the same.
And you lose access to the outside of the ring, but at least you still have the ropes.
Yeah, every time you see a lumberjack match, it's always the same result.
I'd
like to see, and this may have happened at some point, like an extreme lumberjack match where if you get knocked out there, you just everybody's beats the shit out of you with weapons.
Just get those things waiting on you.
I can see that. That would make it better. But it is always the good guy, the bad guy. One of the guys gets thrown out, gets attacked by that group of the good guys or the bad guy, or the bad guys attack the good guy on the outside. The good guys go over there and like get him back in the ring. And then it's always the same match.
Yeah, it is very formulaic. But with some fucking unprotected chair shots in the mix. Yeah.
Y'all like murder in those sports.
I am a fucking sick bastard when it comes to them unprotected chair shots. I'm like,
I cringe now watching it now. Like, especially
when I have that
fucking, I'm like, ugh.
I love, like, I know what it does. I don't fucking care. I love that shit.
You signed up for it.
Cody Rhodes, that was the one time I liked you, is when you're eating the chairman's shot.
A martial arts match.
Who did this and what is it?
I think it's literally just two people doing martial arts, pretending to do martial arts in the match.
Ugh.
I'm going Giant Gonzalez.
I know it was trash too. I know Steve Blackman had something to do with it too, and I think it's. I'm going
because that doesn't sound like they're trying to do like MMA where like those big grapples and punches. I feel like they're gonna be trying to do some like karate movie esque.
Yeah, I think looking at the picture, it looks like it's like someone in a karate gi versus someone. So I'm assuming it's probably like
fake karate,
like fake karate versus like Steve Blackman versus Glacier, or like Steve Blackman versus
Mike.
Yeah, like Steve Blackman versus Ken Shamrock, where they're doing fake MMA or fake like karate versus fake karate versus boxing.
Fake MMA is awful, but fake karate, like
it was in WCW.
Of course.
It was Meng versus. I can't tell it. I think it was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Right?
Oh,
yuck! Yeah, that's in Giant Gonzalez.
His face is cut off, so it's like, don't take my word for it. His face look cut off.
Yeah, that's definitely Giant Gonzalez. That's definitely going in Giant Gonzalez. Yeah, that just sounds.
I agree.
Awful. The mask versus mask.
I'm gonna go Apex Predator.
Yeah, I'm at the same thing.
I'm gonna go Apex Predator too, because the match itself has to be good. The concept of the mask versus mask is usually good, except for when Eric Bischoff got a hold of it.
And with like luchadors, it's gonna be a good match most of the time.
Yeah, except for when Eric Bischoff was doing it and just decided to unmask everybody.
So it's even worse than I thought. So it was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So it was Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but he was allowed to bring his 2x4 in the ring with him as long as it was painted white.
What?
I'm like, what is going on with
why? Is there a specific reason why? Why did it have to be? So if it was not painted, he couldn't bring it in the ring. But if he painted it, he could bring it in the ring.
Yeah, y'all getting these gifts today because they got gifts to go with it. Y'all getting these gifts today.
That sounds awful.
This is awful. I'm watching this like, and they're doing stretches before and everything. Trash.
The more I think about WCW, the more
I gotta watch
this company almost took WWE out.
They took themselves out, that's
what I'm saying. They had the tools to be like the wrestling company, and they just fucked it up.
Or at least to be like still second. They could have still been like second place. and they like
Yeah,
just
they could at
fucked it
least
up.
could have stayed around, like been like an Impact type of company too, like where they like aren't what they were, but they could still exist, you know.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Master Lock Challenge.
I'm
Um,
going head of the table. I love that shit.
I loved
Every
it
week.
too, but I didn't know that was a match type. I thought that was just a challenge.
Well, I mean, it's technically a match because whoever's in it, they
Yeah,
gotta,
yeah.
you know.
You win or
get out of it.
lose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but like there ain't no pinfalls or nothing. It's just kind of like
Nah, you
it's
just
like
gotta
the
get out
cinnamon
that match.
challenge, you know? Like, can you do it?
And no, you
Wasn't
couldn't.
Brock Lesnar? Not Brock Lesnar. Was Bobby Lashley want to get out of it?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley was the first
Yeah.
to break it, and then I think Cena broke it eventually too.
No, you know Cena had to break it.
I'm okay with head of the table. I like the
I
Master
am
Lock
too.
Challenge.
This is a Chris Masters fan group.
I do like Chris Masters.
Well, y'all get a chance, look at the chat. Just look at the gifts I said in there. I said 4 of them.
A Money in the Bank ladder match.
Head of the table.
Head of the table.
Easily. That might like besides the like I think the Royal Rumble is great because of the surprises.
Yeah.
But Money in the Bank ladder match is it's this damn near you can't fuck that
Perfect.
up.
It's the match itself is fire, and then the what happens after is usually great too.
And
because you have that like element of when are they going to cash in? Who are they going to cash in on?
I will say there's only 2 ways to ruin a Money in the Bank match, and that's if you pick the wrong people so you don't maximize the spots. That's been like a few times, or if you do something so ridiculous with the winner that you set the title picture up, like Brock Party. Fuck that. All-time awful
that was
moment.
ass when Brock Lesnar was
Mustafa Ali's just sitting there watching his push die on the ladder. Like,
yeah, I hated that. Like a lot of people like that version of Brock Lesnar. I hate that version.
Yeah, everybody's like, he does like a 2-second dance. He's funny now. I was like, bro.
Yeah, I hated that. That
Please
was like
get a life. Like,
you know I like Brock Lesnar, but that shit was ass. He was
well. Thank you, Kenny, for having critical thinking, unlike most Brock apologists, because that shit was fucking awful.
I didn't like that version of Brock.
Yeah, that's the worst Money in the Bank match in history. And what sucks is that the match leading up to that and the winner that was supposed to be happening like 30 minutes prior was all fucking excellent.
And was the winner? Was it Ali?
Yeah, Ali was told up until like Brock just showed the fuck up that he was gonna get that fucking dub, and it would have made so much sense to turn him heel there and fucking cash it on Kofi. It was crystal fucking clear. I fucking hate you, Vince. And
a monster truck.
You know what? Fuck you,
match.
Travis too.
What? A monster truck sumo match?
Yes.
I don't even care what that's like. Head of the table.
It's literally what you think it is. It's 2 monster trucks. Because WCW, it was in the South, so they were obsessed with like NASCAR and like that sort of shit. So they had they had the NASCAR truck for the NWO had its own NASCAR truck. WCW had its own NASCAR truck. So they were obsessed with that shit. So they was literally two wrestlers
at the time. That's like the 90s, like new metal, like dude bro, like extraordinaire, like
Sunday.
Bod spray, like
Mike, I know you're not on this episode, but this WCW shit.
No, WCW sucks, but I love that. Like just because of how fucking like
it's
just reeks of like Spike TV. Like I'm a man. I use 6-in-1 body wash and eat fucking Step Brothers nachos only.
6-in-1 body wash is wild.
They're
so over the top.
3.
I'm like, what
fucking
like,
toothpaste, laundry detergent, fucking.
That is wild. I saw what it said, 13-1. I was like, this is gross.
It's gotta be like food, drink.
That's crazy.
No, I love that shit just because of how ridiculous it is.
Yeah, it's Sting in one. It's like Sting in one car, Hulk Hogan in the other, just crashing into each other.
They had fucking stunt doubles, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
WCW did too.
Because we all know Hulk Hogan ain't taking a bump, whether it's in a ring or in a car.
I'm gonna go mid.
Damn,
that sits right between us, so I guess it's gonna go mid.
I feel like it has potential. Like it would be fun to watch. For as long as it doesn't go too long. Like if it's like a perfect time is like a minute. Like a minute, they crash into each other, they push back and forth, and then like one of them pushes the other one over or wherever it's supposed to
That
go.
match can't be long at all.
We gotta
No.
find out how long that match actually
That match
was.
can't be like you can't do 10 minutes of watching two cars like smashing into each other. Like I don't want that. Like
I bet it's longer than 10.
I bet it was the fucking main event.
probably.
No one WCW, that shit was probably 30 minutes long.
Probably like 20 minutes of entrances.
You said monster truck sumo match?
Yes.
The fact they call it sumo.
What's the next one? No DQ.
I'm going head of the table.
It's the same fucking site too. The same one I found a martial arts one on. I found on this same one. Golly, this is ass. I'm watching these damn gifts.
No DQ. I'm going Apex Predator.
Yeah, I'm at the same.
How long was that match? Somebody's got to find out.
I'm trying to find out how long it was. It's not saying.
Just an hour long.
Wait.
What pay-per-view was it on? Well, I gotta know.
No, there's no way.
What?
The only thing I see on this is 4 hours. There's no way.
That was probably the whole pay-per-view. So the next one is a no rope exploding barbed wire double hell exploding ring death match.
So it was 8 minutes. It was 8 minutes.
Okay,
That sounds like that's not terrible.
That could be way worse.
It could be way worse.
Too long.
But yeah, the next one was
say that again.
a no ropes exploding barbed wire double hell exploding ring death match.
Where does the double hell come from? But also, stop taking away the fucking ropes.
Yeah.
That's how you ensure a wrestling match is gonna be fucking drizzling dog shit. Is that you have no ropes? I think Moxley versus Omega is like the only match with no ropes to ever even be decent.
I'm going trash.
Yeah, I would go Giant Gonzalez for that.
Yeah,
Because it's gonna be disgusting. It's gonna have no fucking like way to do any cool spots unless you're just jumping off the fucking flat ring into the fucking barbed wire death doo-doo pit or whatever.
I'm good with Giant Gonzalez. That sounds awful. It sounds like just blood to be blood.
You know what spot needs to die like now?
What?
That fucking pizza cutter spot. I'm sick of seeing that shit.
Wait, who else did it?
I
only saw it the one time on AEW.
Oh, I've seen it a lot. Especially because I used to watch like the indie wrestling a lot, so I've seen it a lot.
Granted, the AEW one was fucking funny because they accidentally ran a Domino's ad at the same time. And Domino's like,
it was pissed.
You ever do that again, we are fucking cutting your sponsorship. And you know what? Fair. But that is the funniest shit ever. Like, you bring Nick Cage out to AEW once and you almost lose a Domino's. Like, that is so fucking funny. And like, you can't make that up.
I bet that shit tastes the same too. That shit fucking Domino's is gross.
Domino's is like the worst.
Tastes like forehead.
Like Chris Jericho, old ass forehead covered in bronzer.
That shit, yeah, that's disgusting.
Object on the pole.
Trash.
Oh, that's fucking
anything on the pole.
There's never been a good on the pole match ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with trash.
I'm also going trash. It's not Giant Gonzalez, but it's trash. Giant Gonzalez is a special kind of trash. That's what I'm waiting on. That's the special kind of trash.
Parking lot brawl.
I like these.
I was gonna say I've seen some good ones and I've seen some okay ones. I'm gonna go
Apex Predator.
Yeah, that's what I'm at too.
I agree with that.
John Cena and Eddie Guerrero was the best.
I was going to say that's the best.
That or Angle versus Jarrett. I watched that one because TNA posted like the whole video of it on Facebook the other day, and I was like, God damn, Angle and Jarrett really made this look like pretty real.
Kurt Angle's the GOAT, man, and then Jeff Jarrett was just a believable heel back then.
Yeah. No, I love Jeff Jarrett now. I don't give a fuck about him back then, but I like goofy Jeff Jarrett now.
A pillow fight.
That's trash. There's no way that's a good match.
It's just an excuse to have the girls hit each other with pillows and be sexist.
Yeah,
I don't see it. This is even like good at like the sexist era of like WWE. You know what I mean?
It's the like schoolgirl like
You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sorority sister, like, oh, we're gonna have a pillow fight and then make out.
Yeah. It just I don't know.
It's
Like,
stupid.
I'm never gonna justify that era, but like some of it's like, oh yeah, that I see how that could have been appealing at the time. I don't even get how the fuck that is appealing. Even like that's
People
like,
are in school.
Imagine a
stuff.
5-star pillow fight.
hey,
There's
like, you
pillow,
see their
there's
matches,
pillow
like-
fight
Kenny
league.
Omega and Kota Ibushi will do it.
They're like, oh shit! It's a backflip. Hits him in the hits him
Kenny
in the head with the
Omega
pillow.
and Kota Ibushi got good matches out of sex dolls and like fucking 7-year-olds.
There was
Like,
That
someone
sex doll match was
recently who got
fire.
a-
That
there's a
sex doll
recent-
match was fire.
There was a recent one where someone got a really good match out of a doll. Did you guys watch the Invisible Man versus
yes.
Who is it? It's the Invisible Man versus Mr. Invisible or something like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was about to say where the ref is doing all the stuff.
Yeah,
that
and
shit
then
was
there's a table break.
I
He
don't
puts
know
him
how they
through.
did that.
He
but that
puts
shit
him
was
through
fire.
a table. I'm like, that shit's fire. This shit is fire. 5 stars.
That match was good.
A Punjabi prison match.
We all know where this gotta go.
Giant Gonzalez.
If this doesn't go in the Punjabi prison,
Yeah, it's got to go to Punjabi prison.
that'd be fucking funny if it went.
The issue is that you can't see anything. Like in theory, I understand what they were going for. Like
yeah,
Kali, like he's
it
Indian,
looks
like,
cool as fuck.
It looks cool until the match starts and it's like, oh shit, nobody can see anything, and it doesn't work.
And they never
Didn't
use
they say
good
Great
wrestlers
Khali
for
has
this
never been
either.
in it?
And and Punjab, like Kali's awful.
They've
Well,
always
simple.
felt like, Great Khali never got to wrestle in one. His first appearance in one was helping Jinder Mahal. And it was
Yeah, I was
always
gonna
like
say, I don't think they've been in
Randy
one.
Orton, The Undertaker, Batista, like slow ass guys who can't make use out of a structure like this. Now, put Jeff Hardy in one of these,
I was gonna say
You gonna
Jeff
see
Hardy
some-
and John Morrison.
you're going to see
going
some shit.
stupid.
But I will say this is good for like selling like action figure sets because this would be fun as fuck to play with on some action figures.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So for that, I'll say like with Punjabi Prison Raid, if you put the right wrestlers in, they could save this.
Yeah. I think you could make it work. I don't know who would.
You'd
but
have to have
I guess
like
you
20
could.
fucking cameramen and
Yeah.
like some good ass wrestlers. Like,
Yeah.
and you could make this work.
So the reverse battle royal.
You trying to get in the ring?
You got to
Yeah.
get in the ring. This is another TNA special.
TNA just does everything fucking ass backwards.
They literally just
Head of the table.
They just take anything and we're tweaking just a little bit. We're just
Bruh,
gonna take
they kill
that
me.
great thing, and we're just gonna switch it a little bit.
Don't act like
so
a
that
battle
it's
royal is
ours.
great by itself. It's not.
No, Battle Royale's fire. Like when you do like when you going about the
it's
ring,
mid.
a Royal Rumble match is good.
The Royal Rumble's different than a battle royal, though. This is literally you're fighting to get
Oh,
into
I
the
see.
ring.
I see what you mean. Like, could you everybody start off in the ring? I see
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah, so you don't
Compared
get
to-
the surprises and stuff.
Yeah, that is one of the best. So I get what you mean by that.
But
Reverse
yeah,
Battle Royal is
reverse battle royal is dumb.
Yeah, that's I'm going Punjabi prison. I'm not gonna go all the way trash.
I'm going trash. It's
I'm not gonna disrespect it like that because
Then I'll go Punjabi prison just to keep it out of trash.
yeah, it's dumb. Like you're fighting to get into the ring.
I'm not putting Punjabi prison. No, not Punjabi prison. I'm not putting reverse battle royal match in with pillow fight. I can't do that. It's not the same level.
Well, a reverse cage battle royal.
Reverse cage battle royal. Oh, you should try to climb in the cage.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what that means. Yeah, you have to climb into the cage.
That's stupid.
That's
That might be worse. I'm going,
That is
that
worse.
might be as might be a pillow fight level. I'm gonna go trash.
I'm gonna go trash on that as well.
I think this was another TNA one.
It has to be. I know when it's like some bullshit. It's either TNA or WCW.
The Royal Rumble.
I'm going head of the table.
I'm going head of the table.
I am too.
Like even the bad ones have good moments.
Yeah, I'll say that too because there's some of them that like because it determines the direction of like WrestleMania that year, right? So you could really fuck it up on the outcome, but there's usually at least some good spots.
Paul London's moment was so good he got fired for it.
Yeah, that was Didn't like
Did
Jericho like politics that a little bit too, apparently from what Paul London said.
Mm.
So the next one is a San Francisco 49ers match. You want to guess where this one comes from?
That's got to be WCW.
Yep.
Were they just fighting in the arena?
I'm trying to figure out what it is now.
So these matches.
It's a Vince Russo special because
Hell yeah.
they're in San Francisco. So the rules: in 3 boxes are weapons to use against your opponent, while the 4th box holds the WCW World Title.
This Fortnite ass match.
So pretty much you have to. I remember this one because they fucked it up. Because like you grab the box, so it's very similar to Feast or Fired, but one of the boxes you grab is gonna have the world title, and I think whoever grabs the title wins the belt.
Hey, this is stupid, but I like it. I'm going head of the table.
Damn it!
I'm going Giant Gonzalez. This is awful.
If this goes right, this could be a great match.
I'm going Giant Gonzalez. I feel like there's nothing that could make that work.
Yeah,
like this is just, and like they fucked it up. Like
no match with loot boxes should be a thing.
Hey, I like the Fortnite match.
You know what? I might make a Fortnite match. Have people come in on fucking parachutes and jump into the ring and then fight it out.
And then everybody has to go dance.
And then the belt fell to the ground at the end of the match, so it didn't even work. So yeah, I'm going Giant Gonzalez. This match is awful. Scaffold match.
I'm
going. Think that these would be good, but they're always done by like rinky-dink ass companies that are just gonna kill you. Like, because it wasn't ever like the Fed or like WCW where they had crash pads and safety in place. It was always like ECW. ECW was the richest company to do this.
Yeah.
And they had Paul Heyman feed people bologna sandwiches backstage. Like,
yeah, Paul Heyman was like, "Yeah, I got you in 3 months. I can pay you in 3 months."
Paid IOU.
His health insurance was prayer. So if that's the richest company to do this, imagine the fucking hepatitis deposits for the other feds that were doing it.
They're just taking like 3 boards and putting them 40 feet up in the air and hoping you don't fall through them
onto some fucking concrete that was laid down during the fucking Lincoln administration.
Here's the thing about that match, though. I've never seen somebody in shape do this match. It's always the biggest.
It's always dudes looking like Eddie Kingston.
It's Eddie Kingston. I've seen Eddie Kingston do this match too. I've seen
Eddie Kingston has done one of these matches.
Yeah, I think he did it in CZW.
I think WCW did do a couple of these, but like
it
was like pre like NWO when they were still kind of a rinky dink kind of company.
Yeah, I've seen New Jack do this. I've seen like fucking Balls Mahoney, I think.
It's never like a Seth Rollins or somebody in like shape. It's always the bigger guys. And the issue
those other
with
guys could just go do a backflip and entertain the crowd. Right. What are these guys doing?
The issue also is like you're limited on what you can do because you're walking on like a 5-foot plank, like piece of wood, so you can't really do shit because you can't. Like if you fuck up, one of you dying. So you can't really do a lot. Like you can't like hit any. You can't hit any moves or anything. So it's mostly like punches and kicks. I'm going trash.
I'm going trash as well. These are like I said, if the richest fed to run one is ECW, these are just a safety violation. Nobody's getting insured. Nobody's anybody who survives one of these is by accident.
I think Nick Gage is probably the best one to be in shape for one of these matches.
That's not saying much.
Because Nick Gage is built kind of like Damone.
True. Steel Asylum.
What's that one again?
It's a W. It's definitely East or TNA.
Yeah, I remember it's TNA. It's TNA.
Is that like
I
the
think,
red
It's
red
the red
thing?
cage, yeah.
Okay, so that had another name I remember, right? Or was it
I
just
think I
Steel
remember. I remember
Asylum?
Abyss being in that. I feel like.
Well, no, this was an X Division match. It was like the red one with like the round top. That was kind of
Yeah.
like elimination chamber with no pods.
Oh, I
That's where
know.
Jeff Hardy debuted. Remember? Because like
I remember this.
Homicide and like Amazing Red, like I think got like stuck or something. And then Jeff Hardy comes out, is like, "Yep, I'm Jeff Hardy," and just sits on fucking top. Like,
I remember that because he didn't do shit. He was just like rocking to his music.
that episode was like just that episode of TNA was so weird because it's like a turning point that seems lit in that moment when it was happening, but it was like foreshadowing of the death of TNA.
Well,
It's a wild watch. Like,
Homicide said the 2010 Steel Asylum match was one of the most embarrassing moments of my career.
I just remember Jeff Hardy though, so like he don't gotta worry about that. Though I'm probably gonna watch that episode of TNA back later, just cause like
Yeah, it seems like it's super like confining too.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember that. I remember that match now. Like now you said that out loud. I remember that match. I'm going Punjabi Prison.
I'm gonna do the same.
yeah,
It probably wasn't actually a good match, but I
yeah.
just
Like I'm
remember it
looking at
fondly.
yeah, it's saying that most wrestlers can hold their own when it comes to climbing a vertical cage wall, and it was TNA's most nimble X Division stars struggle to hang upside down from the roof of a steel dome while hoisting themselves up through it. And then I guess it was like just really bad. And then the last Steel Asylum match ended in a DQ.
Oh,
I
they
hate
did more
when
than
that-
one.
Yeah, there was more than one.
Yeah, I
God,
remember
love
Consequences
TNA.
3 was in one, and Jay Lethal they were a tag team in the one. I think they're going against the Dudley Boys or like Beer Money or some shit like that.
A straight jacket match. So you have to put your opponent in a straight jacket to win.
I remember this sounds familiar.
This sounds like it's awful.
It was
Like,
Dean. It was
it-
Dean Ambrose and Jericho.
Really?
It was during that era when Dean
I
was
figured that
doing
had
the
to be
I'm
like
crazy.
a Raven TNA thing.
No,
I think
but
he probably did it too.
Dean Ambrose. I hated that Dean Ambrose. I'm sorry, I hated that version.
I liked that era Dean Ambrose, but that match was probably trash.
That era was funny and fun for Ambrose, but
It really got him over with that audience. Like,
I
so
couldn't
it
stand it.
worked.
I'm gonna go trash. Like
That's where I'm at too. That
I
sounds
feel like
dumb.
it's
I
too
agree.
clunky, and like you got to worry about like getting the straight jacket on them right and not falling off, so it looks good. A strap match.
Head of
Those
the
are-
table.
Yeah. Though the ceiling on those is so high, and
Especially lately, they brought them back and they've been fire.
this is like the opposite of some matches because a lot of these matches are ones that you think would be good or awful. This is one you think would be bad, but is actually like
fire.
really good. Like like most times, like nobody really fucks these up ever. So
You would think the strap would be limiting, but it isn't.
yeah, and you'd think that like somebody would fuck up or like somebody would hurt somebody or drag somebody the wrong way or something like that, but no, they really mastered that. Whoever did the first one probably just found all the kinks with it and was like, all right, here's how you fix it.
A street fight.
It's less good than the other hardcore variations, so I'm gonna go Apex Predator.
I'm
That's
gonna go
what I'm at,
Apex Predator because people don't follow the rules. You have
They
to
don't
be
wear
in
their
street
jeans.
gear. You have to be. You don't even have to be jeans. It just needs to be street gear. You
It's
can't. I don't
usually
want. I don't
jeans
want
with
you. I don't want you in wrestling gear. I need you in your street clothes. And they never actually fight in the street.
I would say it's usually just jeans and a beater or jeans and a t-shirt.
I feel like a street fight should be.
If you at least have the jeans,
That's all you need.
I hate when it ends in. It shouldn't end in the ring.
that makes CM Punk versus Chavo Guerrero the best street fight ever because they fought in the streets of New Orleans before he put him in the Gulf of Mexico.
I forgot about the Gulf of Mexico match.
I always forget about that.
I wish that were in this so bad because I love that match.
I liked that version of Chavo.
Chavo really sold the
I'm a
GTS into the Gulf of Mexico.
Listen, I like every version of Chavo.
Even Kerwin White.
Chavo doesn't get his respect, even when he had that horse. Yeah, I like every version of Chavo.
I forgot about the horse.
Chavo's goofy, but I like him.
A stretcher match.
Oh, so we're counting stretcher and ambulance as different matches.
Because there are technically different versions
Because
of it.
I probably gave the ambulance way more credit thinking of stretcher match shit. Like,
I'm going
mid.
Yeah, I'm going mid. Well, I was about to say, I think the best one is seeing Rey Mysterio be put in the stretching and slammed against the.
I think the
steel post.
Hardys. Oh, that one is great. The Hardys one's my favorite, just because Jeff misses the swanton onto the stretcher, and Matt just pushes him up past the line.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh,
do
I
remember
forgot you have to push the. That makes me want to drop it.
Yeah,
I forgot you. It's not just putting them on the stretcher. You have to push them across the stupid finish line. I'm going Punjabi prison. I changed my mind.
I'm still going mid.
I'm going mid
It's
still.
all about the spots.
Because you could do some cool shit with this. Like, I saw that Rey Mysterio spot.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio.
That's so fucking insane.
He landed on his face and his arms.
He had no protection.
Yeah, he's
like he just swung him and dropped him. Like, okay. A submission match.
Ooh.
Okay.
So
I might be the odd man out on this. I'm going Punjabi prison. I get storyline purposes. It makes sense, usually with technical wrestlers, but those matches are boring to me.
I like submission matches. I like technical wrestlers, but I do agree it can get boring if they aren't like being fast paced with the submissions. If it's like
it's usually slow,
it's super slow. It depends on who's in.
Because like ultimate submission is also the problem too, because they're doing an Iron Man match with that shit.
Right,
and it's even slower.
So I'm gonna go mid.
I agree with mid on that, like because it can be fire, like because you're trying to get somebody to tap out. So hopefully you're still doing other wrestling in between.
Right,
but...
and then you're like trying to set up for your submission.
Yeah,
but if you're literally just doing like chin locks and shit for 30 minutes, no. Sumo wrestling.
Akibono.
This is Big Show. Head of the table.
Akibono. Yeah, that shit's going to trash.
Yeah, wrestling trying to do other sports or other like
always bad.
It's never good. It never works. It doesn't look good 99.9% of the time.
Whether it's boxing, UFC, sumo wrestling.
Hey, right. No, Matt Hardy sold for Evander Holyfield like nobody's business.
I always forget that happened.
I remember the weirdest shit about wrestling.
I remember that. I remember it too. Like that shit was wild.
This one I gotta zoom in for to be able to read it. A table match.
Oh, that's you had to zoom in. Oh, is it just that small?
It's just the reading was hard to read.
Oh, I'm gonna go fucking Apex Predator at least.
Yeah, I agree with Apex Predator because you can fuck up a table match.
Yeah.
Shoot, Sabu broke the table in the one match. He broke it. He stood on it. Like he was trying to do like a tornado DDT off it, and the shit broke. Like he like broke through it.
Also, I don't know why, but there was a period where none of the women could get someone through a table.
They were always like, I would say they would never be able to do it.
They didn't gimmick them or something like
they would always like have to do it like 2 or 3 times to finally get them through the table. Like it would never they would never break it on the first try.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not big enough to go through it, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't make I don't know why it doesn't. I don't know why it wouldn't work. Yeah, I remember that happening where it wouldn't work for the longest.
Yeah, like everyone, like maybe I know Sasha. Maybe it was just Sasha was too small, like to get it to work.
Yeah,
because I know Sasha always had that problem.
Because like in AEW, they're having that problem too. Like Ty Conti and Anna Jay or somebody like that. We're trying to break. They just couldn't break a fucking table. Yeah.
So next one is tag team.
I think it's perfect mid. Like it could be a good match or it could be a bad match.
I agree. I think it has the potential, or super high potential, to have 5-star matches, but also can be absolute garbage.
I'm going Apex Predator.
I still think singles matches should be in mid
I agree,
for the same reason.
because it's just like the default match. It could be anything.
Right. It could be if they were perfect, if they were Apex or if they were head of the table, we wouldn't need any of these other stipulations.
That's true, and they wouldn't always be on weekly TV for free.
True. A Taipei death match.
Ooh, what is that?
So this one is where you wrap they wrap their hands and then they dip them in glue and then dip them in then they dip them in glass.
Yeah.
And then
Damone loves this match.
I like the reason I remember this is because of the movie Kickboxer.
That's what I think of. I immediately thought of Kickboxer, but I'm thinking wrestling version of this. It's not going to go right. In my opinion, it's not going to go right.
The only one I think that happened was the Axel Rotten fought his brother, who wasn't really his brother. The other Rotten, I don't remember his first name, in ECW. I think that's the only one that ever happened or I remember hearing about.
Yeah, I don't like this. This just sounds like, and it's probably just again rinky dink companies doing it, so you're just getting fucking glass on yourself with no fucking immunities. I'm gonna go with trash.
I agree with trash. It's another one of those wrestling. Stop trying to be other sports.
Yeah.
A taped fist match.
A what?
Taped fist. So you tape
most
your
matches
fist.
They have taped fists.
Yeah, I think it's taped. Like your fists are taped, and you're allowed to do closed fist punches. Because
I thought you said
just any other match now.
Technically, you're not supposed to use closed fists.
I don't like that because I feel like that's just gonna make the big spot of the match a punch.
Yeah.
And I'm also just trying to be bare knuckle boxing too. That's trash.
Yeah, I'm going Giant Gonzalez. This sounds awful.
I'm going just trash.
John, it's you.
I added it trash. Like it's just boring because like if it's the whole thing is we have taped fist and we can punch closed fist now. Guess what the big spot's gonna fucking be? Just a regular fucking punch. Like that's gonna be awful. Like that's the problem with most of these matches. They're not building to anything but shit that is just normal.
Yeah, I looked it up and there's one of Dusty Rhodes versus King Kong Bundy.
That sounds awful.
Ted DiBiase versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Why is it all dudes built like Travis?
Mickey James versus Sarita.
That sounds better than the other matches you named. Sadly,
Big Bubba Rogers versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So it's not even the best version of Big Boss Man.
I just heard Big Bubba and I was like,
yeah, Big Bubba
not
is
Bubba Ray Dudley.
Big Bubba is Big Boss Man.
Okay,
his bad gimmick when he wasn't a cop.
That's wild that the cop is his better gimmick.
Yeah, the cop, the probably racist cop is his better gimmick.
The one that feeds people fucking dogs. Well, no, he is a racist. He put the dog in Chinese food.
True, that is true. A Texas bull rope match.
Oh, those turn out way better than expected every time. I'm going head of the table.
I'm going head of the table too. I feel like they figured those out, like the what's it called? The strap match.
Yeah,
like,
or the dog collar.
Yeah, they figured those out, which is crazy. Because you would think with there being like them being tied together.
It also sounds like such an awful match, but it's actually really good.
Right. Like when fucking JBL beat the shit out of Eddie with the cowbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
They also probably pick guys who have good chemistry for these matches too. Like they're not just gonna put any two people together. They're not gonna be like, well, Austin Theory and Madcap Moss, go figure it out. Like it's like
True.
MJF and CM Punk, JBL and Eddie, like just people having good feuds that have good chemistry that probably wrestled together more than a couple times.
And you having to touch the turnbuckle adds another element
which also seems like it would be stupid,
but it works. And with JBL winning the title because his shoulder happened to touch the thing before Eddie got to touch it. That's a nice touch of heel shit, unintentional. JBL lucking into winning the world title.
Yeah. This these matches should not work, and they
shouldn't, but they do.
That's wrestling magic.
A Thunder Cage.
Fuck.
What?
Another WCW classic.
Oh,
It
here comes
sounds
Mike
like it,
ready
like
to defend it.
a Thunder Cage.
A Thunder Cage match.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
explain how this works.
Yeah, I don't even. I think it's just a giant cage match.
Is
Hold
it like a
on.
shocking cage, which wouldn't even make sense because thunder is like the sound, not the fucking shock.
So the only one I can find is Ric Flair versus Vader.
Okay, that's not a terrible matchup.
I think it's just like a giant cage.
Oh,
Like
that's
it's
fucking
almost like Hell in a Cell, but it's not Hell in a Cell.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna give it mid.
Yeah, I guess that's all. If it's just a regular cage, it depends on what happens in it. Going mid.
Yeah, let's go with mid.
It just seems like the older brother to Hell in a Cell, but they didn't figure out like all the shit the later guys did yet.
Yeah, and I think it's just like curved. Like it's a curved.
Oh, so you can't even like do shit on top of it or off it.
No.
So it's just, oh, these guys are locked in together. What will they do? Punch, slam head into it. Like,
Yeah.
maybe get out of chair. I don't know.
Yeah, if you're lucky. Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Head of the
Head
table.
of the table.
I think this is the best, maybe the best of all time.
Yeah, that's a great stipulation match.
Like, it's just the best 3 weapons used. And it just started off so good that, like, people have the mindset that they have to ball out in these matches. Like, if you start off with, like, main event guys like The Rock and Austin, I don't think this match ends up as good as it is because the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian just did so much.
Yeah, they fucking went crazy. Because I feel like Austin and, like, a main event guys went of, like, they're not jumping off the top of the ladder and, like,
here's the thing,
doing
though.
all that crazy shit.
But that's the thing, though, about it, though. It's like, yeah, they're the main eventers. It's not like, oh, it's like size is an issue because the Dudley boys are shaped the way they are, and they were going crazy in that match.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
it's the willingness to do those spots.
Right, to do those, like, crazy spots. Yeah, like I don't see Austin like going off, like jumping off a ladder.
Yeah,
he probably just hit someone with it, or hit them with the chairs, or put them through a table. But like they're not doing all the crazy shit they were doing.
Yeah. So like the mentality with these matches was shaped by those tag teams that you have to ball out in these matches, and for the most part, people do.
Right.
There's probably been some duds because how many years they did the TLC pay-per-view.
Right. Yeah, I don't like when they have match type pay-per-views unless it's Royal Rumble.
I agree. Royal Rumble's the only one that should exist.
I agree. I would maybe make an exception if Blood and Guts were pay-per-view, but honestly, it's cool having that on a weekly show.
In War Games. War Games, yeah.
Blood and Guts, same thing.
Yeah, War Games, Blood and Guts are fine.
I will make the exception for the TNA pay-per-view Lockdown, where every match has to be a cage match. I love that shit.
Tornado tag.
I'm gonna go Apex Predator because you take the tag match, you make it a little bit better and increase the ceiling.
I'm a reverse of what he said. I'm going mid because I think the element of I'm getting my ass beat, I need help is like the main part of the tag match, and I think that gets taken away when we do tornado tag. It's just kind of like,
so I'm conflicted because I agree with both of you. But at this point
you
in
get
wrestling,
endless tag spots too, so you can see like more tag moves.
And then at this point in tag wrestling, every match is pretty much a tornado tag because it always breaks down until like the tags don't fucking matter. No one knows who the legal man is anymore. I'm gonna give it mid. I'm gonna say it's I'm gonna go with mid. It's like about the same, maybe a little bit better than a regular tag team match, but not enough to jump it into another category.
Yeah, that's valid.
The triple cage match. It's WCW, a cage
I remember
on top
this
of
match.
a cage on top of a cage. It's also in the movie Ready to Rumble.
See, I'll say with this. if this had the trajectory that the TLC match did, this probably could be an all-timer. Like, if this had started with the fucking Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian,
I
maybe
feel like
this
this
could be
match
something.
had potential.
Yeah,
They
They
just
got
put
the
the
wrong
wrong
people in it.
people.
yeah,
in there.
they put a bunch of fucking main eventers in there who are doing fucking chest chops 30 feet in the air. Like, who
They had
fucking
Arn
cares?
Anderson and Hulk Hogan and Jeff Jarrett and I think DDP.
Yeah, DDP. It was
There's-
it was all the people who were in the movie. Because they did it for it was based off of the movie was connected to it. So I think Vince Russo might have been in it. I know he was involved.
Fuck.
Vince Russo was just doing shit. Fuck him. Yeah, it was. This is nasty. And David Arquette was in there too. David Arquette, DDP.
This is where he won the title. It was in a triple cage match.
The hell?
Yeah, I'm going trash.
I'm gonna go Punjabi Prison just because of the potential it has.
I'm
Like I
at
said,
prison too.
Okay.
if you put the Hardy Boys in this motherfucker, this is an all-time stipulation to this day. They never even need to invent the Elimination Chamber because this shit would be so fucking lit with the Hardy Boys.
Actually, I'm good with Punjabi because even as if you did it as a one-on-one and you had the title up there, and imagine Seth Rollins versus Will Ospreay or Omega versus Ospreay or somebody, two hot, guys who are gonna go crazy in there. You can have them do spots climbing up there. Once they're up there, you can pretty much treat it like a ladder match, but in a cage.
Yeah.
So I think you have a lot of potential. Someone could get thrown off of it too if they're fucking daring.
So
enough.
it kind of gives you a cage match, Hell in a Cell, and ladder match in one. This could be good.
Right. It'll never happen again, but
yeah.
A triple threat.
Ooh, these are normally good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to go head of the table.
I'm gonna go Apex Predator.
Oh, Apex Predator 2. These can't.
You can fuck them up
if they're too formulaic.
Yeah, and depending on who's in it.
Yeah,
but these are better than a singles match.
I agree with that.
And also I now vehemently want a triple threat Iron Man match.
Ooh.
I really want that.
Why
I want to see that.
I want to see a triple threat last ride match.
I want to see a triple threat Silver Dollar.
Fucking Silver Dollar.
Carson City Silver Dollar bunkhouse brawl.
That man has
the San Francisco 49ers title.
We gotta watch the Carson City match at some point.
We need to do a watch along. We just watch the bad matches,
Anything that got Giant Gonzalez on either one, we should watch.
We should do that.
I'm down for that.
I've seen Candle from Hell recently because I was watching 1999 pay-per-views.
Yeah, that's not good. A tuxedo match.
What?
Everybody's wearing tuxedos, and it's a bra and panties, but with tuxedos.
You know what? That's some nice reverse sexism there. I'm going mid.
You know what? I'm going worse than Giant Gonzalez. It's going to hell. Go to hell.
The Homer phobic prevails.
I'm going.
Oh, he's actually making the new team.
I was going to, but I'm going to go Giant Gonzalez. It's bad. It's awful. It's a terrible gimmick. Ultimate submission.
These are worse than regular submission. I'm going Punjabi Prison. It's like Iron Man, but with submissions only.
Yeah, I just remember that one. Yeah.
Them ones that go for an hour on 2K, even when you simulate them.
Long as hell.
Yeah, I'm going Punjabi Prison.
It could be good, but it
depends on who's in it. You have to have perfect matchmaking.
You gotta have Kurt Angle in there. That's the main part. Kurt Angle has to be in there somewhere.
Yeah, like a Kurt Angle, an AJ style, or not AJ, Daniel Bryan, those sort of guys who can work, who aren't just gonna spend the whole time doing a submission. They're gonna do other shit, but they're gonna also work the submissions in. And An Ultimate X match.
Oh boy, Crispin.
Chris
Ultimate X is fire. Head of the table.
Head of the table.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. That might be one that is not one of that is the best thing TNA ever did.
Well, that's why TNA got so confident too, is because they did that.
They were like, we did it once,
like,
we figured
we
it
can
out.
make any fucking match type we want. That's
like,
why they got so cocky, is because they're like,
they struck gold with 2 matches, and it was like, bro,
we'll just keep
what
trying.
if we did over a battle royal match?
And
but
they didn't even
everybody
put
went in the
Elevation
ring.
X in this, but Elevation X was actually, it was like the best version of a scaffold match you can get because it wasn't that high, and like you had the ring below and shit, and you had to climb up there, I think.
Yeah, it's still not great, but
Suicide.
they gave him a little bit more room. War Games.
Head of the table.
Head of the table.
Yeah, I agree.
War Games is almost always fire. Oh.
That's on World War III. You already know that's going.
I'm gonna have to have World War III explained again. I know Mike did that shit, but
World War III. Hold on.
I remember
play an ad real quick while I look it up. Hold on, I can play it.
I was about to
all the button presses are gone.
Well, the button presses are gone. We don't know what to do.
I got it right here.
Your body and the bodies you're loving deserve nothing but the best. Organic Lovin' is the only adult subscription box that includes eco-friendly body products, from body-safe adult toys to sex-positive books and erotic seminars. Organic Lovin's online store has everything you and your partner or partners could ever need to heat things up. And right now, your friends at T13 Media want to take 10% off of your next order. Just go to organiclovin.com and use promo code T1, T-H-R-E-E, like the sound the bed makes, when you check out. Organic Lovin'. Love organically, purely, deeply, boldly.
Okay, so I found it. So the rules for World War III were similar to the rules of a traditional battle royal, but it's WCW, so they got to doctor it. So it's a 60-man battle royal. You heard me right? 60. All 60 men were randomly assigned a specific ring before the match began. The match began with all 60 men in 3 rings when the bell rings. Each ring was assigned a number. From left to right on the TV was 1 on the left, ring 2 was center, ring 3 was the right one. Originally, in order to be eliminated from the match, a wrestler had to be thrown over the top rope and both feet touched the floor. The rule was amended in 97 to allow for elimination if a person leaves the ring in any way. In 98, it was amended again to allow the counting of pinfalls and submissions for eliminations, to make it even more complicated. When 10 men remained in ring 1 or ring 3, they would then move to ring 2 and the match continued.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember this shit, and it was too much.
And then the rule was amended in 97 so that the competitors had to move to the center ring once 40 men had been eliminated. And then the last man standing was declared the winner. This is too goddamn much.
40 people in the ring at the same time is crazy.
Yeah,
60 people. Like 60 people, it's 3 different rings with 20 people. That's too much to keep track of.
That's already crazy. But then you're like, oh shit, we got 40 people now. Like, no. And then the people have to keep count, like, oh shit, we got 40 people. We'll all move to the middle. That's too much going on.
Yeah.
It's like line dancing.
I'm going Giant Gonzalez. It's too much.
I was gonna go just trash, just straight up trash.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Giant Gonzalez. This is fucking awful.
That's fine with me. I just remember that shit being really bad.
It's just too complicated. It's too much. 40 people is too many, or 60 people is too many.
Mike's gonna be pissed when he hears that. I know he loves that. I know he does.
A Taipei Indian strap match.
Oh my fucking!
All these damn Taipei matches.
I think it's literally just a strap match, but
with glass gloves.
But I don't even think they're glass gloves. I think it's just they made it. They said it was from Taipei. I'm going trash.
Yeah,
is that all it is? Is there anything else to it?
That's trash.
Well, Hulk Hogan was in one.
Oh, there we go.
Worse.
Yeah, it's just a strap match, and it's literally just a strap match, but with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, it's going trash. So I know that shit was asked if he was in it.
So for the record, or I guess it's not Taipei, it's a Poppy Indian death match or Indian strap match is no different from a regular strap match. There were no pinfalls. Both men are strapped to each other, and they need to touch all four corners to win.
Yeah, that sounds like bad flavor text, and if the only one is a Hulk Hogan match.
It's Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair.
Ugh.
Ric Flair low-key save it, but Hulk Hogan is just the way you feel about Brock Lesnar. That's how I am with Hulk Hogan. Fuck
No, I
Hulk
agree about Hulk Hogan too. Fuck him.
I'm going
and Hulk Hogan.
The issue is I can think of great or good Brock matches. I can't really think of a lot of good Hulk Hogan matches.
Well,
even though the ones that were decent, he fucked up.
The one everybody talks about,
Brock had a good era.
I don't like that. I don't like that match. The one with him.
The match itself isn't great. It's just the moment. It's the moment of Rock and Hulk Hogan being in the same ring.
Yeah.
But if you take that part out, it's a very mediocre match.
Yeah, I remember
that's the thing is that
good.
It's kind of the reverse too. Is that like Hulk Hogan has good promos while Brock doesn't? So it's kind of.
I don't think he has good promo. I think he is the way you feel about Brock is how I feel about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, they're the same. They're about the same to me, except like Hogan was at least like funny at one point, while like
I don't like him in any era. I think the best version of him is Hollywood Hulk Hogan, but I still
because he's a dickhead, and because that's who he is in real life. That's the real life Hulk Hogan, a piece of shit. That's the best version. Actually, that's not true.
The best one is Mr. America, just because Edge gets to get the tag titles with him.
It's Thunder Lips. Thunder Lips is the best version of Hulk Hogan.
I agree. And the best match he ever had was against Shawn Michaels, when Shawn Michaels was acting like he was on crack, doing that shit.
And then we're gonna wrap this one up.
Shawn Michaels is such a baby back bitch. He's right in that situation, but that's like. He's such a
terrible way.
He's so fucking soft.
It's a terrible way to go about it.
And we're gonna wrap this one up with the greatest match of all time: an anus exploding death match.
Oh, what?
I'm only gonna put that in trash
match
so that we don't have to watch that, but we do the Giant Gonzalez to
watch that shit. Yeah, it's an anus exploding death match.
Exploding death match.
Yes. Where are you ranking it?
Think of how that match even works.
I would pay not to see that.
Who's the winner?
Well, I know who the loser is. It's us.
The fans. The winner.
Who wins?
Yeah, pretty much you have to put something in the person's ass and it explodes. That's the match.
God,
I'm not.
Put the fucking Mento and Coke in there.
I'm not homophobic. I'm not at all. But it's like, why? Who makes them? What build is there to make this match make sense? To be like, you know what? I'm sick of your shit. Every week you put me through this. So now I'm going to put you through the same shit you put me through when I'm up in your ass next week in an anus exploding match. The crowd's like, yeah.
Joey Ryan was in one. That guy.
Okay, that just explained everything.
I'm going to put a sparkler so deep in your ass.
Joey Ryan versus Velveteen Dream versus Val Venus versus who else has done some shit? What's his name? Gallagher.
Gallagher versus fucking Matt Riddle.
Riddle. Everybody with accusations going in there.
The allegation bowl. Last ass standing with. and gets to keep their job.
Yeah, so
ass standing match is hilarious.
So in October 1998, Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling promotion in Japan staged an anus explosion death match between Hayabusa, known simply as H at the time, versus Mr. Ganasuki, who was calling himself Hayabasha and dressing like his foe in order to mock him.
Man,
That's
Hayabusa's
good
actually
that's a good match. That's a good matchup. That's what makes it worse. That's a good matchup when they did this.
The object of the match was to incapacitate your opponent long enough to shove a firecracker up his backside and light it.
No, that's like Jericho did like a Dark Side of the Ring over that promotion though, I think. And that's probably fucking why.
Yeah. So it was pretty much like a standard death match. He tied H's arms around the turnbuckle and shoved the firecracker up his rectum. It didn't explode. It did set off some sparks, so the gimmick was most definitely paid off. The firecracker bit was apparently a reference to a stunt that the older Japanese wrestler used to force the trainees to do as a hazing ritual. So pretty much he used to be a dick.
That's it right there. That's the gift.
Yeah, he used to be a dick, and he would make like his trainees do that. And pretty much as a rib back, the company's like, we're gonna put you in an anus exploding death match, and you're gonna lose it. I've seen that one too, where like they're in like the super like the shark cage.
Yeah, like that's dope.
So we're putting this in head of the table, right?
I'm going trash. I don't want to see that match. So I don't.
I'm going John Gonzalez.
I'm going trash, so we don't have to watch it.
Yeah, I don't want to watch.
Damn it! I was so close. I'm gonna watch it anyway,
you know
just because.
You know what? Fuck it, John Gonzalez. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
We're gonna watch it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
We're already watching a San Francisco 49ers match. We might as well.
Right after that, the anus exploding match.
Oh my god, there's a suffering end. This is why Travis and Mike and Keith took sabbaticals. It's just to make us do this shit.
I'm gonna we gotta invite them on, like when they come back, like if they ever come back, and be like, "Hey, we got a match for you guys to watch.
We're doing a watch along.
We're doing a watch along.
Anus explosion match."
I was gonna say, and we need to have Joe on there. I'm gonna invite Joe for this episode. We do
worst matches ever.
Worst matches ever. I'm gonna have him watch it, and we don't tell him what title of the match is until it happens.
Don't worry, commentary will say it 27 times.
It's an anus exploding match. Anus exploding.
Well, an anus explosion match, you won't catch it because it'll all be in Japanese.
True.
He's shoving it up his anus.
He's like, anus explosion. Anus explosion. Because they say it, but they just be so hyped when they do it. They be like, DDT. I'm like, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know when we're gonna do that episode, but I definitely
next week.
Next week, y'all ready for next week?
I won't be on next week.
Oh, the week after.
We can do it the week after. Travis will be on with you guys next week.
We have him and Joe on there so we can watch the anus explosion match together.
All right, so in 2 weeks' time, we're watching the worst matches in history. There we
go.
You
know what? I'm gonna try to find these matches and put them in like a thing together. So that we can watch it.
Yeah, like the playlist. If you put it on, if you can find them, most of them, you should. I assume most of them you can find on YouTube, and you can probably put them in like a YouTube playlist.
And we could put them on all of our T13 social medias for everybody to watch along with us and suffer along with us.
Yes,
we don't suffer alone.
We don't suffer alone.
We suffer together.
Yep.
Solidarity with whoever that dumbass was that lit a firecracker in his booty hole.
It was Hayabusa. I think he created the Phoenix Splash.
Bro created the Phoenix Splash and the
anus splash.
And the Phoenix ass. The Phoenix ass.
Yeah, all right. Well, that concludes the match type or stipulation tier lists. So if you didn't watch part 1, go back and watch it. But I hope you enjoyed this trilogy. And now we'll plug each of our social media pages.
It wasn't a trilogy, but
it's a trilogy now. Shut the fuck up.
I guess technically because we're watching.
Yeah, the third one.
Yeah, we're giving them a trilogy when we watch the fucking worst matches in history.
Okay, so your plugs.
Oh, well, if you want to find some more hate and ass behavior like seen on this podcast, you can go to twitter.com and search for @LilXFudge, where you will see me, you guessed it, hating on motherfuckers, earning my Hater of the Year badge. And I'm gonna pass it on over to the bad guy.
If you'd like to see more anus pounding fun, go to no, I'm just kidding. Go to Bad Guy Spoken Podcast on YouTube. You can check it out on the Bad Guy Spoken channel. And you can also catch the football podcast Unbiased, where we talk nothing but football on there. And you can catch the new show Hood Movie Review. Only like 29 episodes in. And episodes with Superfly should be out within the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for that. And catch me on social medias at Bad Guy Spoken. Forgot that part.
And D Money.
I be tweeting and TikToking both at Dumb Money T13. That's DAMONEY. T the number 1 number 3. You can also follow the T13 Media Twitter and the TikTok and the Twitch. All are under T13
And the threads.
And the threads as well as threads. We got the threads now. Those will all be included in the link tree that'll be included in the episode description. And also you can find all our information at T13media.com. That's T the number 1 3 spelled out media.com. We're going to be revamping the website or the store soon. So you'll see some updates there. We're gonna do a grand reopening. But yeah, we'll be doing that. So go buy some merch. Make sure you follow all of us, follow the show, and you can follow all our goings on the website.
Well, that's been Book It. See ya.
Bye.